Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Splatoon. Last time we began the game by being informed the Great Zapfish has been taken out of Inkopolis, and with Captain Cuttlefish here, we've been given some gear to go ahead and find that Great Zapfish. So with that said, let's just go ahead and move on to our next level here in the first area. So let's go ahead and move up here and move on to level 3, the Rise of the Octocopters, which introduces us to yet another new enemy type. The Octocopters are basically just standard Octolings, but obviously what the name implies, with a helicopter on their head, so they can go ahead and fly. Makes them a little bit harder to hit, but luckily for us, we can still easily hit them because they move very, very slow, which is a really good thing for us because that makes our jobs a lot easier. Now, with all the different things I was explaining in the first episode, I didn't really have a chance to say those little circles we're going over. Those are checkpoints, so if you die, you will return you to that. And as you can see, we got 3 little bars there in the top left-hand corner of the screen. That's basically our life bar. Once we run out of those 3 bars, it's game over. We basically get kicked out of the level, and we have to start from scratch. So be very careful not to do that. But when you pick up one of these cans that looks like tuna fish, you'll be granted a special weapon. In this case, we got ourselves the Inkzooka, which is probably one of the best special weapons in Splatoon. The Inkzooka is very powerful. As the name implies, it's basically a bazooka, which shoots out tornadoes of ink every single time you fire it. And it's really, really powerful. But you want to just go ahead and climb right out on these pillars here because you'll go ahead and get yourself your scroll. One of the easier ones to get, to be honest. In the beginning here, they do make a lot of these scrolls pretty easy for you to find, but later on, they do become a lot harder to find, so it's not just be as easy as walking up and then just finding it just laying there for you. Kind of like how it is in World 1 here. Like I said, it is going to become a lot harder from here on out when it comes to those scrolls. But these little railings that we're just swimming through, these are pretty interesting because they activate when you shoot your ink, and then your ink just fills up the entire line. It's a pretty cool idea if you ask me. But here, we're at the end of the level, and we have a new type of enemy here. They're basically like the Octocopters, but a lot beefier. They'll take more hits, and they'll do more damage to you because they're shooting out basically bombs at you, so you gotta be very careful. But I just wanted to go ahead and showcase, I didn't really need to use the Inkzooka in the end, but I just wanted to go ahead and use it to break open the little capsule for a Zapfish, just to show that the Inkzooka will break it open just like a bomb in one shot, which is really cool. That, and once you complete the level with your armor and a weapon, you will get more eggs with that as well, so do keep that in mind. This seems to be a Terran assault vehicle, but it doesn't appear to have an engine. The big question then, how does it move? It's frighteningly clear that the source of the Octarian power lies outside the realm of established science. Which is very interesting to think about how the Octarian's gear does work. The stuff for the Inklings is pretty well explained, but the Octarians, we don't really know anything about yet. But before we go on, I want to go ahead and press the plus button here to access my gear upgrade menu. As you can see, we can go ahead and upgrade 3 different things we already have, and then buy 2 additional bomb types, the Burst Bomb and the Seekers. So I'm going to go ahead and buy both of these now, because we can easily afford to do so. So buy both the Bomb Burst, or the Burst Bomb, sorry, and then the Seeker. I don't know why I call Burst Bomb sometimes Bomb Burst, just like dyslexia clicks in or something and I just call it something different. It's a little weird, but you know, whatever. So we'll go ahead and show off how these are used here, and a little bit for the first boss battles. Not much you can really do with these special bomb types here, but I'll be using the Seekers just to show one of my favorite abilities with it. So this is our first boss fight here, the mighty Octostomp. Right away, I'm going to go ahead and use my Seeker, which will produce a trail of ink for me to go ahead and swim through. So you'll be seeing me use the Seekers quite a lot in the single player here, just to move around a lot faster. They're really useful just for movement. But our first boss here, go ahead and begin by just getting out of the way immediately. The Octostomp's main strategy is to get up close with you, and then just slam its face on the ground, hoping to hit you. But if you move out of the way in time, go ahead and climb on his back, shoot the tentacle that appears to have his back like so, and you'll just do this 2 more times in order to beat him. Keep in mind that every time you go ahead and do damage to this guy, he will get rid of all the ink on the battlefield as well as remove some of the panels off of his back here and the side. So you gotta be very careful and also be very cautious with each phase of the fight because your strategy is going to be changing for each one. You also want to be careful when you're getting up close and personal to him. If he sees you outside of your ink, he will move to where you are. So if you move over to the left or right to dodge out of his attack, he will turn around and he will stomp you. So you have to be extremely careful. See, he just turned around there, so that's a good demonstration of it. You gotta be very, very careful about that. And you don't have that much reaction time, so pay full attention during this boss fight, because one stomp will kill you in an instant. And you only have 3 lives before you game over, so you gotta be very careful about that. There you go. That was the first boss fight right there. It's very simple, to be honest. You just have to be very careful of a couple different things. And luckily here, once you beat the boss, you get a couple different eggs, and they will give you the scroll. So, I don't know why the heck this shield just regenerated, even though I was trying to jump into it right before it did. Apparently my timing sucks that bad, but, you know, whatever. Burst bomb it again to blow it up immediately. Avast, they have the great octo weapons on their side. At any rate, good work, Agent 3. Keep it up. It's a long road to the great Zapfish. But with the first boss fight defeated, and you go ahead and grab the scroll in this fight, as you see, we're not getting a story this time around. We're getting this weird blueprint. This is actually a weapon you can go ahead and use in multiplayer. We'll be looking at what this weapon does at a later date, but for now, keep that in mind. That's a weapon you can go ahead and use in the multiplayer mode of this game. So, with that unlocked, we can go ahead and take it back to the main hub of the area here and just do whatever with it. But for now, let's go ahead and move on into the next gate. Moving into level 2. And right here we have a lot more opened up to us. So, I'm going to do my best to go in order here. So, this is going to just basically mean I'm going to be jumping all over the place on these maps. So, the first level is right up here. This is level 4. Well, level 5 is near where you began. So, we see me running back and forth quite a lot, to be honest. It's a little annoying if you want to do each level in order. But, to be honest, you don't have to. So, this isn't really that big of a deal, to be honest. It's just more of a personal thing for me. But, introducing us off right in the beginning here, we got a new type of item we can go ahead and work with here. These things here are gushers. Go ahead and shoot a gusher, and they will burst up with all your ink, allowing you to either destroy things that are there on top of the gusher or around it, and also allowing you to climb up it, obviously. But this is an Octostomp. Think of the boss we just fought, but much smaller, and a lot easier to kill, obviously. So, the Octostomps here are a lot faster. In fact, as you've seen, that one just kind of like pushed me into his friend and killed me, so that was a little surprising, to be honest. I didn't think that was going to happen, but, you know, things happen. So, it doesn't really matter because that actually helps to demonstrate another point about the checkmark system in this game, which is really cool, to be honest. So, we'll see it once we get to this next checkpoint here, and I barely made that jump. That is insane. I thought I was going to die. Oh, dear God. I would not want to die there. But once you reach a new checkpoint, you refill one of your bars of energy there, so you can actually take a couple different deaths and still be okay because of the checkpoint system refilling your health, which is really, really helpful. So you still want to be as very careful as you can be, but, you know, if you die, not a big deal because you can still get a lot of your life back. But now the Zapfish is up ahead, but not just that, but also our scroll. If we head over here to the very far left, we can go ahead and grab the scroll just sitting right in a box underneath an Octoling. So that makes things a lot easier. Well, not Octoling, Octarian. We'll see Octolings actually later. But there you go. That's the end. We got ourselves our Zapfish and we are good to go. I do believe there's some armor in this stage as well if you head over to the right. But luckily we didn't really need to worry about that. So, you know, we're good to go. This scroll was found in a deep rock layer. Its age estimated at approximately 2,000 years. It details the ancient turf wars of the time. It seems the basic 4 versus 4 battle format had already been established at this stage. So there you go, some more lore when it comes to multiplayer this time around. Because that's how the standard turf war mode and every other multiplayer mode works in Splatoon. They're 4v4 matches. Outside of the local multiplayer mode, you'll never be fighting someone one-on-one, so do keep that in mind. But in this level here, Soak It Up, you'll be having these sponges you need to go ahead and shoot, which will make them a lot bigger and obviously let you climb up them. Nice thing of strategy here, if you use your burst bombs on these, you can go ahead and just fill them up immediately with your ink. So if you have burst bombs at this point, use these right away on all these sponges. Make your life way easier. Plus, you know, gotta go fast. Makes things a lot faster. But down here, we're gonna have an interesting combination because we're gonna have these octo balls and some sponges to work through. But later on, you'll be seeing coming up, we're actually gonna be having some octo balls here. I'm losing my train of thought already. This is a great start. But we're gonna have some octo balls here in the area where you can't really fill it up with ink. So you gotta be careful about that because you can push around the octo balls, as you notice, when you shoot them. But because you can't kill them unless they get stuck in your ink, you can really only just push them around, hope they fall off the edge. So you gotta be very careful. But here, I want these guys to shoot me. And as you see, when an enemy shot hits some of these sponges, they will shrink in size. This one in particular you want to go ahead and do that with because that's the only way you're going to get down to the scroll. So don't kill these enemies. I've done that before where I'm trying to collect the scroll and I accidentally kill the enemies forgetting about the scroll down there. And then I learn about it too late. So for a first time player, you're going to be doing that probably. You're going to just kill the enemies, not really thinking about it because that's your natural instinct. You want to kill everything you see. And unfortunately, if you do that in this case, you're going to be screwing yourself out of 100% in the level. So, yeah, don't kill them. But we're pretty much at the end of the level now, so we got ourselves this turret to use, so let's go ahead and jump on in and just shoot everything we see. Shoot all these Octarians, shoot the flying ones, the sponges, apparently the rock in the background. That's great. Did not try to go for that. Please hit. I can hit everything but this flying Octoling right now. This is getting ridiculous. That's the only thing I don't like about those bazookas. They just, or rocket launchers, whatever you want to call them. I always call them something different. I don't know why. I just do. But those dang rocket launchers, we'll just call them that. It's so easy to miss with them because the aim is kind of sluggish at times, but it's not really the aim that's a problem. It's more or less when you're aiming at something, it's very easy for it to go off target. It's a pain for me to aim at those things, I swear. The terrifying biology of the Inkling. Strength, can leap up to 5 feet. Brain, simple and predatory. Bones, none. Eyes, can spot prey from 100 yards away. Defense, high pressure, high capacity ink sac. I don't want to know about the sacks. Thanks, I'm good. Oh hey, look, it's Scuttlefish. What do you have to say? The same thing. Okay, well I'm just gonna just do this. Give you a nice blue paint job. You look much better that way. Hope you enjoyed. So let's go ahead and do one more level before we end things off here. So open up level 6 here, which is a pretty interesting one because we're introduced to some propellers. So these type of platforms, you're going to be moving yourself with your ink, and you got to be very careful doing so because they move very, very fast. Right away, we got a lot of these moving enemies to deal with, so got moving time bombs here. Luckily, if they get stuck in your ink, makes your life a lot easier because they will slow way down. Also, using any of these bombs takes up so much of your ammo, so do keep that in mind when you use these bombs. I mean, they're good in a pinch, but a lot of times, if you're trying to conserve on ink, you're probably not going to want to be using bombs. In this case, I want to because it distracts all these Octarians, making my life a lot easier. But unfortunately, I ran out of so much ink there, I couldn't really climb the wall as effectively as I wanted to. So, ammo management is key in Splatoon, at least early on, because you can upgrade the capacity of your ink and the blast radius of your bombs, so it'll make your life easier when it comes to that stuff, in terms of hitting things and also in terms of, you know, ink consumption. But for now, because we're on base values for pretty much everything, you gotta be pretty conservative in the beginning. Usually the first thing I try to upgrade outside of buying those bombs is I try to upgrade the capacity of my my ink, and then I usually go for maxing out the strength of my gun, because while that stuff is really useful, you gotta keep in mind how much it costs too, and how useful it can all be. So I try to go for the ink consumption first because I run out of ink so fast, especially when using bombs. And while the strength is really useful, if you know what you're doing, you can kill things pretty fast in this game, no matter how strong your gun really is. So do keep that in mind. Also, distracting this guy did make my life a little bit easier, but, you know, could have been a lot smoother than that. And honestly, I'm surprised I made that jump. I didn't think I was going to make it. So I did. Hey guys, how's it going? Just gonna sneak up on you like that, not a big deal. Alright, but let's ride this last propeller up. And jump on down, throw our ink bomb, and go for it. We got ourselves yet another Zapfish. As it wiggles in panic. The Department of Energy has announced that further declines in the availability of electric power are likely to occur in the near future. With the underground domes also deteriorating rapidly, the future does not look bright. I get what you did there. Bright. Electricity going away. Funny. But with that bad pun out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Next time on Let's Play Splatoon, we'll hopefully be finishing up Area 2 and moving on to the next area. I'll see you guys next time.